Today we're going to be replacing this panel right here. As you can see, it is between the window and the trunk lid. This is the panel I'm going to be replacing. The quarter panel on the left side is all in. I'm going to get in the trunk here and I am going to start removing it. Just give you an idea, there is spot welds every 2 to 3 inches along this drip channel, and you have to remember the channel here, which was part of this over here, does not come with the new panel. So you have to be really careful that you do not damage this panel. I have the new one right here, and I'll show you. This right here is the new panel, and as you can see, this drip edge right here does not come with it. So you have to make sure you do not damage this drip edge. I was able to save it on this side of the quarter panel. That came out really nice, and I was able to save it on the right side, which is the passenger side, and that came out really nice. So now I'm going to be replacing this, so I'll take you through the steps on how to remove it. Okay, what I'm doing now is I got to find the spot welds, and I started on this side. I'm going to work my way that way because I want to film this for you. The problem that I'm having is that there's a lot of rust in this window channel, so you can't find the spot welds, okay? And I can't find the spot welds here either, so that's going to be a little tricky, so I don't damage anything that I get into. But I'm going to show you what I do here. Is I have this little 1/16 of an inch, actually at 3/32. I bought these from the hardware store. They fit on my drill. I go in there and I drill down into the metal just to leave a little impression. And then what I end up doing is I take my spot weld cutter. I have it on my 3/8 spot weld cutter, and what I do is I go in there and I just gently go down and I make sure I don't go too deep so I'm not damaging the panel below. There you go. And you could feel it if there's nothing there. If it's lifted up, you could feel it. So then I take my pair of needle nose pliers and I just start lifting up on the metal, and that'll give you an indication of where the spot welds are, because it's going to be very tight when you lift. Then I lift it up a little bit like that so I could get a chisel underneath, and then I pry up on it gently and see where it's still tight. And if you take your time, very tedious work, you shouldn't damage the panel below. And I'm not changing this panel, I'm just cleaning it up. It's in pretty good shape. There isn't a lot of rust. It's not broken, not rusted away. So I'm going to save that. I'm changing this. So I am going to do a little bit more, and I'll turn the camera back on and show you my progress. See you in a bit. I want to show you a close-up of exactly what I'm doing. Is you see the spot welds here? That's what it looks like when you start doing it. Cutting them out, finding them, and peeling them back. I ended up peeling this whole panel upwards so I could find my spot welds just a little easier. And I'm going to set the camera up and I'll show you how I do one in real time. I am going to drill this out. I'm going to show you. Here's my starting tip. Makes it easier. Just going to go in there, make a little mark. Go in with my spot weld cutter. In case you're doing this at home, you have an idea. Okay. And what I do here is I just wiggle it and see if you start seeing rust, that means you're through the first piece of metal. So once you start seeing rust, I just wiggle it and see if I get a uniform ring of rust, and that way I know that I'm through. So I'll show you. All right, I didn't go all the way through yet. Alright, so now, just to break the weld, if I didn't cut it all the way through, is I pry up on the metal a little bit here. And it looks like the top part of my spot weld did not cut through. So what I'm doing now is go back in and try to hit the top. Just a little wiggle and see if that helped. Yep, this is a big weld. So here we go. Just a little bit more. Oh, did you hear it pop? That means it gave away. So that means there's the spot weld that was holding just gave away, and it gave it that popping sound. So if you're doing the right job, you would hear those pops all the time once the metal gives away. So I'm going to turn the camera off and I'm going to continue down the line, and I'll show you pretty much when I'm almost done with the top part. So don't forget, please subscribe and support my channel, like and share, so I can bring you better videos and more in-depth detail videos too. So please subscribe. Thank you. Okay, I am right here. I just got done drilling this one out. I don't know if you could see it in the camera, but right over here, it gave me a hard time finding the spot weld. I'll show you that later if I remember. But I should only have like 3 or 4 more spot welds holding this upper panel in, and then I have all these down here. But I wanted to show you again how I do this. I noticed it is right here from prying underneath like this. It's being held down really tight right here. So a little drill bit, a little mark. I have my counter cutter here. That went right through. That was good. Tap this down. Yep, that went right through. And then I'm just gonna pull this back. See if I can see any more spot welds. Yeah, there's one. There's one right here. So I'm gonna do that. Okay, just want to show you what I do and how I do it. Just gentle, steady pressure. You could see, there you go, just popped, okay? That was a quiet pop. All right, and okay, there's one right here, I can see it. Bend that down, Actually, there's a little divot there, so I'm going to try to catch it with my plug cutter. Just a little, you know, moving around on the metal until it gives. You'll know it as soon as it gives. So. Oh, it looks like there's one more right under my chisel here. See if I can get it by cutting it with my chisel. No, it's right on the edge there, so it makes it easier if you flatten the metal out before you go ahead and start it with your cutter. So, little divot, put in there. Okay, I grabbed the metal, as you heard. Okay. Oh, I broke the teeth off on my cutter. So that cutter right now is no good. So what I end up having to do is take this off with a pair of pliers, flip it around, because the other side is still new. All right, but that is my last one, so I'm not going to do that now. I just want to pop this off, and there we go. So now, this whole, let me show you, this whole upper piece. This whole upper piece is loose. You see that? How I'm able to lift that all up? I removed all the spot welds from here all the way to here. So there was, let's count them, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, to about 25 spot welds on this upper part of the panel. Now there's a lower section here I mentioned before, and we'll do that in a little bit, and I'm going to turn the camera off, but as you can see, it is separated from the window panel, so that's a good sign. This is going to be very difficult to do because I can't even get in there to pry it up to see, so we'll figure out what to do. Again, if you have any comments or questions, leave them below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks. I want to show you what I was doing. Is I lifted this panel up a little bit so I could get underneath. I broke all the spot welds free over here without damaging this piece. I've come to realize this piece is actually part of this panel over here. So what I'm doing is I'm going in there and I am, with my flat bar, I'm trying to get in between the panel and the spot welds. So far, I have them loose up until here. And then I know there's more spot welds in here somewhere. So I cut a couple that I thought were here and there. And what I ended up doing was feeling them from the underside. And I was able to find some spot welds. So it actually was working for me. And what I'm doing now is going in there and just prying it loose without damaging them. So it feels like there's 1 or 2 in here I didn't get. But I'm going to bring the camera around and show you exactly what I was doing to find the spot welds. There's a big space from here to here approximately 6 inches that I know there's a spot weld in there, but I just don't know where it is. And then again, here's another one about 5 inches apart. So I'm trying to get in there and break it free without any luck. So I just wanted to show you my progress. Like I said, it's loose up until here. So this whole panel right here is free. And if I can't find these spot welds, what I'm going to end up doing is just drilling a bunch of areas that I think the spot welds are, and then working my way around it. But I'm going to turn the camera around and bring you down here and show you this right here. So I'll be right back. Okay, as you can see, the spot weld there and the spot weld right here, by sticking this pry bar underneath and just lifting it up, let me show you. You see that? It's loose. So I have to just work my way down the this channel and then see where else I miss spot welds. I drilled, there's a spot right there I drilled, one right here, one right there. And I'm guessing now where they are, but I'm not going all the way through. So I am trying to save the panel underneath without doing that much damage. If I have to, I go back in and fill it with some weld and grind it smooth. But the thing I'm doing is gently prying up from underneath, and they normally pop. And what I'm doing is I'm using this pry bar and I'm going underneath and I'm just lifting gently. Like I said, I don't want to damage anything. I only have, if you could see here, this whole panel is pretty much loose now, except for down here. There's probably one more spot weld right here. So I just want to make sure I have enough room for me to get in there and drill that out without damaging anything. So I'm going to turn the camera back on when it's pretty much ready to pop out, and then I'm going to show you everything. What I ended up doing was drilling that out because it's thin metal, and I'm going to show you right here. You see that? And I did not want to damage that because I have to fix it up here on a quarter. This has to get lifted and clipped and welded and all that good stuff. But I wanted to show you, this is what it looks like all the way across. The panel is removed. A lot of spot welds, as you can see. This is still in good condition, even though it's rusted. But before I put this panel together, what I think I'm going to do is put some Por 15 on here, actually try to preserve it a little better. And I have, as you can see, a lot of cleaning up to do. Just wanted to show you that, and that's it. So it's the next step is to clean all these spot welds and go ahead and put the new panel in. So I have the new panel. It is right there. So I'm going to show you what it looks like basically when I am done. So I just wanted to show you that. So I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe. Okay, I'm at the point now where all I have to do is screw it down with my tap screws and weld all my spot welds that I cut out with my punch and with my drill. I didn't show you that, but you know, it's a tedious job. But I mean, I used a 1/4-inch drill bit, came down, drilled my holes, cleaned everything up. I am going to take this off to show you underneath. I primered it. So the only thing I got to do now is just screw this down right here, some tap screws, and screw this down. As you can see right here, it moves a little bit. So I want to make sure everything's nice and flat. And then I got to clamp all this down. I have it clamped on the right side and I have it clamped on the left side. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to clamp it here and go in and tack weld. So spot weld rather. And then other than that, we're ready to go. And that's it. Okay, I wanted to show you, these are all the holes that I drilled on this side here, all the way across the whole panel. So this is ready for me to install. What I did is I primered this right here because I didn't want any further rust. Not that it's probably going to see any rain after I build it, but I just wanted to show you that. What I did is I went in and I tack welded a bunch of these little spots that I did not like, and just to make them solid along down in here. But this is what it looks like, and I have to screw it down here to pull this together, but I want to make sure everything is grinded and smoothed out before I do that. I just used some primer sealer over here. It filled it in really nice. Other than that, we're ready to install. So I'll turn it back on when I'm ready to spot weld. See you in a bit. All right, I wanted to show you real quick what I'm have to do. There's a space right here from the quarter panel to this window channel here. So what I have to do is I have to put everything together first before I screw it, so it doesn't move when I'm doing that. And on this side, it's actually really nice. So I'm just going to stick a little screw in there to hold it in place. I filled this in with some metal. Just want to show you a close-up of that. Cleaned that up really nice and smooth. And I primered everything that I could primer. Where I'm going to weld, obviously I'm not going to primer that. Someone asked me in the comments that why don't I primer where I weld? Well, I did that in the beginning, and I was getting a lot of splatter with the zinc weld-through primer. And I told him back in the day they did not use primer when they put these cars together. So since the car is probably never going to see any rain once I'm done building it, there's no need to primer anything anyway. But I just kind of figured I'll just put a coat of primer wherever I can and be done with it. All right, anyway, I'm going to put it all together, tap it, and show you what it looks like. All right, I'm all done prepping this panel, and I'm going to get ready to start welding it. So I just wanted to show you where I am. I have a lot of clamps holding it. I have the tap screws here holding it down, making sure I get a really nice tight fit when I weld, so I don't have any problems when I weld it. So it has to be touching really nice. And this is called, it has two names, the rear window to trunk filler panel, and it also has a name called the deck filler panel. So this panel goes in between the two quarter panels and the trunk lid and the window. So there's a lot of different components that this piece matches up to, and some people call it the sail panel, but I don't think that's correct. I think it's a deck lid panel. But anyway, I just wanted to thank all my new subscribers. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and support my channel so I can bring you better videos. And I'm going to turn you around and I'm going to start welding my panel. I'd like to thank my new subscribers. I'd like to thank my old subscribers for leaving a comment below. And if you have any questions, I'm getting ready. I started welding these right here. So if you have any questions or comments, just leave them below and I will try to get back to you as soon as I can. Other than that, you know, I'm glad you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Grinding these spot welds here. I got to this point here, so I kind of figure I'll let you guys know a little bit of what I'm doing. I got done welding everything, so I'm just grinding it really smooth. So about 12 spot welds here. I got a little bit here to grind and some in here, 2 more in here to grind I missed. So just other than that, I am completely done with this panel. And I think my next video, when I'm completed with this, is I'm going to be doing either the firewall or the cow panel in the front. So whichever one you want to see, leave a comment. And I should be getting to that in about 2 to 3 weeks. So I got some free time and I wanted to finish this up. So I'm glad you enjoyed the video, or hope you enjoyed the video. And if you have any questions, leave a comment below. Thanks.